Hey Canada, how's it going? I am your host Parmesan, and did you guys see the debates last night? You probably didn't. They were in French. Although the debates had highlights and points worth talking about, we will save that for the English stuff because last night, folks, was all about the scrums. Okay? Jagmeet Singh went after Poilievre multiple times, spewing multiple lies, and Pierre batted him right down. Yves Blanchette did a really good job. Of course, he shines at debates. I really like watching that guy during debates. He's going to do a really good job tonight, too. Everyone ganged up on Mark Carney, which good. It's how it's supposed to. And when they tried to gang up on Poilievre, it just didn't work. So this was great. And it took Mark Carney right out of his element of fear-mongering about Donald Trump and forced him to talk about something else, which he was almost speechless on the whole night. So folks, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications because we are going to go into last night's election. So without further ado, folks, here is today's top story. So Mark Carney is the first up to bat. And who does he get first off the launch? None other than Cian Bexte from Countersignal. This guy has been arrested so many times from Justin Trudeau. It is insane. Okay? And he asks Mark Carney if Mark Carney likes Justin Trudeau and supports Justin Trudeau. I didn't get that because that was a 3-minute non-answer. Okay? Then he says this. This is the follow-up.
You're kind of hoping the Canadians won't connect the dots that the people standing behind you in your caucus walked in lockstep with them. Regardless of what you say right now, Stephen Guilbeault made the carbon tax's life work. The man that moved Paul Bernardo from a maximum security prison is now your chief of staff. I'm wondering how you reconcile this and how you can trust their judgment when they thought those ideas were good ideas.
I'd say a couple things to that rather odd question. First is that
question was rather odd.
In this election for the Liberal Party, I mean, you go and see when I make an announcement. I don't think I've seen you at any of them, but next time you can come.
Did you guys hear that? Let me just rewind it for you.
I don't think I've seen you at any of them, but next time you can come.
You kick me out.
And you will see a wide range of the candidates that are...
Come on, Cian, you should have made a much bigger deal out of that. You should have interrupted him and be like, oh, you don't let me at your events.
But they are presenting themselves. So, for example, with respect to our announcement on crime, we had Bill Blair, now the Minister of Defense, of course, formerly the Chief of Police and a long time in Toronto, and Natalie Provost, who was
Provost.
We're honored to have her, and someone who's dedicated their life to helping to end gun violence and violence against women. There is a very wide range of candidates that have come to the party with me. There's a lot of fresh blood. There's also a lot of experience that's there, and you need that combination of energy, new ideas, experience, and a fundamental passion for making this country better in order to serve at this crucial time. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
This is what I want to explain about answers like this. People call these word salads. Is this not like every product that you buy off the shelves of Walmart? Just an empty globalist shell? Maybe at one point used to be good until some freaking shell company bought it up? Or some asset management company bought it up and said, look, your food costs too much. You need to cut this. Right? I honestly think to these guys they're saying something. Comment down below. Did he say anything?
Answers and question very short, please.
Absolutely. Alex Zoltan with True North. If you thought my friend's question was odd, you're going to love
Zoltan.
I'm glad you self-assessed that. Okay.
How many genders are there?
There, in terms of sex, there are two. Thank you.
My follow-up question, do you believe that women, biological women, have the right to their own spaces? Their own sports, their own change rooms, their own prisons, their own homeless shelters?
I think this is Canada, and that as a general objective, yes. But we work in where we value all Canadians for who they are, and we'll continue to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, merci.
Okay.
I don't know who let these bigots into this debate. But men go wherever they want and do whatever they want to do. Don't you ever forget that.
For 6 years, which now gives you the right to a pension. Before that, you were a provincial member, and you have spent much of your career having your salary.
That was a joke. Women, that was a joke. Up next here, Jagmeet Singh. Hilarious. This is the highlight of the night right here.
Paid by the public, but you decided to boycott the Conservatives and others, and you supported Justin Trudeau's bill on the internet. Now, this is paid by all Canadians. Why do you think it's ethically acceptable to marginalize Conservatives and to refuse to treat them with respect? I will not answer your question from Rebel News, so I will not take that question. But I will take the time to say that for me, what is critical in this election is the issue of who will fight for Canadians, who will defend the things that people hold dear, such as health care, who will defend the interests of everyday Canadians and not rich CEOs, and who will be able to stand up to companies that rip Canadians off.
Who let that woman in here? Huh? To ask questions. Doesn't she know this is Jagmeet Singh? She's not allowed dissenting thought here. Who? Look at the guy behind her.
The Indians feel that your opinions are not acceptable, and you refuse to answer questions from journalists with whom you disagree, as you've just done now. I presume that in your opinion, we should be punished one way or another. So how are you any different from authoritarian politicians that you would imprison for their ideas? This is another reason why I do not take questions from Rebel News, because you promote disinformation, and your question is an example of that.
Question in English, please.
Privatization.
What a tyrant. And a misogynist.
Hello, Mr. Singh. Drea Humphrey.
Here's another one. Here's another one. I'm not the biggest fan of this reporter, but she does a very good job. I mean, all around. She does a really good job.
News. Your party takes great pride in standing against hate such as white supremacy, Islamophobia, and all.
Sorry, I didn't get your outlet.
Drea Humphrey with Rebel News.
Okay.
Your party.
You know where I'm going to go with this, all right?
Party takes pride in standing against hate such as white supremacy, Islamophobia, and online hate speech. Yet you stay silent about ongoing.
What are you going to say about it, Jagmeet?
Even after Conservative MP Jamil Javani's order paper question revealed that over 200 churches have been targeted by arson and vandalism since claims of remains being discovered at former residential schools swept the nation in 2021. These claims have been disproven by bands that excavated and remain unproven by those that have not. Will you condemn the rise in acts of hate against Christians today and explain what your party will do moving forward to keep Christians safe from hate in Canada?
Wow, what a question. Man, that was a big question. She should have left out... So, two things. She should have left out the part where they said that it was false accusations, or the part where they said that it wasn't true. She should have left that out. But this is a very good question to ask this guy. But I want Pierre Poilievre to get asked it. I want Pierre Poilievre to answer this question. I want Pierre Poilievre to face those tough right-wing questions. People keep tossing him them softballs. Even when it comes to it, he's going to get one too, and it's going to be a softball. But this is hard.
Again, thank you, but I'm not going to respond to an organization that promotes misinformation and disinformation like Rebel News, so no, I'm not going to respond to your question.
Perhaps you didn't hear me.
Uh-oh.
Over 200 Christian places of worship have been attacked in Canada since 2021. Many served First Nations communities, many were historic, and they diverted police and resources and put others at risk. What do you say to Canadians who see your refusal to answer, especially from one of the few media outlets here that are not funded by the state, as proof that a vote for you is a vote for a dangerous, radical party that gaslights the public into thinking it stands against hate, when its silence is instead emboldening Christophobia?
Your question
That's a
is
great
another
question.
example
That
of
was
why I
great.
respond to agencies like Rebel News that promote misinformation and disinformation.
That was the question. That was the question of the night. That was a very great question. And you're about to hear a bunch of actual bigots actually discriminating on people for actually doing journalism.
That was NDP leader Jagmeet Singh. Up next would be Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre. But I think we have to sort of address the elephant in the room. How are these people chosen to answer these questions? And I don't know if either one of you have an answer for that, but I think there will be people at home saying,
I think if you guys are all watching me, I think we all know the elephant in the room.
some of these seem like odd questions, some of them aren't getting answered. How come we've heard so often from this one particular outlet? Any idea what's going on there? There's three right-wing, very right-wing media, call them media, websites that are present in there. You get in line to ask a question like anybody else. Their accreditation has been approved by the Commission of Debates, and so they get the right to stand in line and ask a question that they choose to ask. In this case, you saw Mr. Singh, and this has been his position for some time, to refuse to answer questions. Rebel News in particular traffics in misinformation, facts, lack of facts, and as you heard in that question, which was woven with some truth and some things that weren't true. Yes, there have been burnings of Christian Catholic churches. Yes, there have been remains of Indigenous children found in various places around the country.
See, and that's where Rebel News are the bigots and the disinformation. Okay? CBC has been covering the Christian churches all along. Didn't you just hear that 1 second segment of them talking about churches right now? They've been talking about churches the whole time. They haven't talked about anything else. It's all they've ever talked about. Okay? Why don't you just go back and look? This is the first time they've ever mentioned Christian churches getting burnt. This is the first time.
Seen the NDP tonight refuse to take questions from independent journalists.
I'm not going to do it because YouTube's going to suppress my stuff.
The Liberals have gone one step further.
Subscribe to my channel, folks, so I can get big enough to unshackle my words from the clutches of YouTube. Okay? I would love to get a website going where I can put a show on there and have people go there to watch it instead of on YouTube, where I can swear and be naughty. You know?
The Carney campaign has called the police on independent journalists. Trudeau before that brought in C-18, C-11. The Liberals are promising a revamped version of the Online Harms Act. What would a Conservative government do to ensure the independence of the press and protect Canadians' right to have access to information and hold their politicians to account?
We are the only party that's willing to protect freedom of the press, of all the media, and we will also repeal C-11, the censorship law. We will remove the censorship of Canadian news on web platforms like Facebook and Instagram, and we will fight back against any kind of Orwellian online censorship law like the one that the previous Liberal government instituted. It was designed to create the possibility of preemptive arrests of people, where you could be arrested if you were suspected of sometime in the future planning to say something harmful online. You could be under a peace bond. I mean, it really is Orwellian, and I note that many people across the spectrum have spoken out against this censorship. Even someone like Margaret Atwood, not known to be a conservative, has said that this kind of censorship is not only bad for democracy, but inhibits artistic expression. So I stand for free speech, and we will respect the right of Canadians to have access to the media that they choose.
Your entire...
There we go, folks. And I want to touch a couple more things about Pierre Poilievre. That guy, did you see him standing there? He is cloaked in the aura of prime ministerialness. Okay? That guy is going. He's going. People say that he's not. I have criticisms as well. Watch the debates. Watch the debate tonight. I might go live during it. We'll see. Watch the debates tonight. This guy looks like a world leader. It is really crazy. He's comfortable. He is the longest serving politician standing there. This is Jagmeet Singh's third election, but Pierre is the one that is in his element. The political ball, is in Pierre's court, and I think it will stay there until the end of the election. And guys, don't worry about the polls yet again. I know people say this all the time. I want to call out Polly Market. Okay? And if Pierre wins this election, pleb, you need to cut the sponsorship with Polly Market, because that is trash. That is freaking trash. Guys, Pierre went down like 3 points during that debate. And he crushed it. He crushed. Yeah, he didn't crush it, guys. He did what Pierre does. We want Pierre to crush it. He didn't crush it. He did a Pierre thing. Guys, comment, subscribe. What else do you do? That's it. That's it. Don't even comment. Just subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow after the debate. So, what am I expecting from tonight's debate? I am expecting Mark Carney to stand there and do as little as possible to not screw up. I'm expecting a lot of the same from last night, to be honest with you. That's what he did last night. He stood there, he said as little as possible, and he kept himself out of trouble. That's why people say Mark Carney won. Pierre was the star. Yves Blanchette did what he was supposed to do. He's supposed to win some seats off of that. Jagmeet Singh is a loser. I think he just... And I'm expecting more of it. Expect more of the same stuff that you've already seen coming out of Jagmeet. As it's nothing. Okay? Guys, did you like the show today? Make sure you watch it tomorrow, okay? Because I will be covering the next election from tonight. So, like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.